I think disappointing news is the best way I can put it, that I have about Attorney General Jeff Sessions deciding not to appoint a special counsel. And he's been asked to appoint a special counsel in a variety of matters, and in a letter he's just sent out yesterday to the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee and the Senate Judiciary Committee, he said, "I'm not appointing a special counsel." And this is the language he uses specifically. He cites the regulations as it relates to special counsels. Pursuant to Department of Justice regulations, the appointment of a special counsel by design is reserved for use in only the most extraordinary circumstances. And the public interest would be served by removing a large degree of responsibility for the matter from the Department of Justice. That would be the only reason, or that would be a reason to appoint a special counsel. The department has successfully investigated and prosecuted many high-profile, resource-intensive matters since the regulations were promulgated in 1999, but the regulations standard had been found to be satisfied on only 2 occasions. Guess what one of those occasions was? The appointment of the special counsel to investigate Donald Trump. He has, as been previously reported, had several federal prosecutors allegedly monitoring and reviewing the matters that are at issue here. And he named one of them for the first time yesterday, United States Attorney John Huber, who is a U.S. attorney originally appointed by Barack Obama, reappointed by President Trump, and he's based in Utah. So Jeff Sessions has said that Huber is going to be maybe working with the Inspector General, who has purview to investigate both criminal wrongdoing and violations of the rules by members of the Justice Department and the FBI, by agency employees. IG can't prosecute anyone. So supposedly Huber is going to be working hand in glove with the IG, but when you read the letter, it's pretty clear that Huber isn't charged with prosecuting anyone. He will review these matters. He will receive his recommendations. Sessions will receive his recommendations as to whether any matters not currently under investigation should be opened, whether any matters currently under investigation require further resources, or whether any matters merit the appointment of a special counsel. So I just spent a lot of time telling you that Jeff Sessions and the Attorney General's office and the United States Justice Department is not going to appoint a special counsel to investigate anything as it relates to what went on with the Obama FBI, Hillary Clinton, or anything of that nature. He's relying on this IG, which is an internal watchdog, and an outside prosecutor, who I don't think is an impaneled grand jury or doing a prosecution. He's just looking at the record and may suggest additional resources, and nothing's going to be done. Now, are there investigations going on? We don't know that, but I can tell you there's no public indication of any serious investigation by the Justice Department into the matters we care about. Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. Series of text messages have come out, despite the obstruction of the same Justice Department and FBI that Jeff Sessions tells us has a lot of integrity, that show that these 2 people, Peter Strzok being the lead investigator in the Clinton email matter, and a top investigator as a counterintelligence specialist in the Russia-Trump investigation, were fervent anti-Trump partisans and pro-Hillary Clinton partisans. They talked about having an insurance policy targeting Donald Trump. They talked about, just most recently, it's disclosed just this past few days, that they were trying to cover their tracks as it relates to their communications and contacts with the White House and Congress, Democrats in Congress, to get this Trump investigation going. And on top of that, it turns out they were also trying to figure out a way to provide cover for, it looks like, inappropriate communications with the FISA court judge and the judge who recused himself from the General Flynn matter, Judge Contreras. Bruce Orr, the number 4 official at the Justice Department, had to be kicked out of his job as the senior person. He's moved back to his current position where I think he's overseeing, believe it or not, the organized crime division of the Justice Department's criminal division. His wife was working for Fusion GPS, and he was acting as a go-between between dirt from the Clinton campaign vendor Fusion GPS and the Justice Department and the FBI, even after the FBI supposedly cut Fusion GPS off and Christopher Steele off, Fusion GPS's foreign contact that was working with Russian intelligence to dig up dirt on Donald Trump. And then we have conclusions by the House Intelligence Committee that the FISA applications used to target the Trump team, signed off on by top leadership in the Obama administration and Jeff Sessions' number 2, Rod Rosenstein, held materially important information, which was that the basis of the applications for the FISA warrants and their subsequent renewals was based on this shady dossier funded with the Clinton campaign cash and DNC cash. You know, I'm of two minds on special counsels, to be fair to General Sessions. I don't necessarily think we need a just special counsel to get justice. As I said before, we don't need new prosecutors, we need prosecutions. For instance, there's more than enough evidence to arrest Hillary Clinton. More than enough evidence. It was gathered largely by the compromised James Comey. He just didn't want to act on it, as the law would dictate. Repeated instances of the mishandling classified information, obstruction and lies and all of that. So we don't need a special prosecutor to redo that investigation. We just need someone to prosecute the case. Now, there would have to be a more substantive investigation of what was going on with the Obama Justice Department and FBI in terms of targeting Donald Trump. But all that General Sessions has agreed to do is to promise Congress he's got these folks, led by this Utah U.S. attorney, to investigate whether to investigate. No promise of any investigation, just the promise of a review and an investigation as to whether to investigate. James Comey says boo, and a special counsel is immediately appointed targeting Donald Trump for everything under the sun. He has his own personal special counsel that gets to look into anything they want under this Justice Department. We have these in-your-face violations of law by the Obama Justice Department and FBI and abuses of power. McCabe lying to investigators. And they're still talking about investigating a special counsel. So this to me is one big punt. I hope there's something going on I don't know about, but as I said, I don't know. I'm not aware of any public indications of a serious investigation into any of these matters. As I said, you'd see some evidence of that in the public. The Justice Department is not prohibited from talking about these things generally, and certainly the deep state would be complaining if they were doing anything aggressive in terms of investigations or prosecutions.